Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute applique yak. The pattern also includes the pieces that you need, different horns and a different mop for the top of his head, to make a muskox and a bison or a regular ox, and also a highland cow. Here's how to make it. This is the video showing how to assemble the yak block. Remember, this is a mix and match pattern, so you can also use the pieces to make a muskox, a bison, or just a regular ox, or a highland cow. So you'll use different pieces, and I'll talk about that a little bit as I go through assembling this one. But for now, I've got my background block quilted to the batting for the quilt as you go method that I use. And I've got all of the pieces prepped, which means they are cut out on the solid lines and dotted lines are transferred to the front side of the fabric. I did not transfer these eyelashes because I'm not going to use them on this block, but I did use them in other ones. So you'll see at the end of this video what those eyelashes look like. One thing I do want to point out is that because this is a mix and match block, I don't have quite as many placement guides as you might be used to from my patterns. For example, I would normally have a guide showing where this shaggy mop on his forehead goes, but that's going to be different because if you're making the highland cow, he has a different mop top that goes all the way down actually and covers his eyes. Another example is I would normally put a guide on the body showing where the head goes, but if you're making a yak, the head is going to go up higher, a bison also. But if you're making a muskox, which has a really distinctive hump, and because he doesn't have the mop top on the top of his head at all, that hump is really, really visible. So you're going to place that head a little bit further down. So some of these placement guides are not there because it depends on which block you're using, or on which animal you're making. So for that, you do want to make sure to either print out or just have up on a screen somewhere where you can reference it, the placement guide for each animal. So this is the one for the yak, and I've got one for each of those different 4 animals. You could also make some other bovine animals using these pieces, but I just picked 4 that I thought would be the most popular. So there's a placement guide for each of the 4 different animals, and this example is going to be using the yak. So I'm just going to stick this up here in case I want to show it again. So to put the pieces together, I always like to start with the piece that has the cut off straight edge that is going to be lined up with the bottom raw edge of my block. I like to do almost all of my blocks what I call snapshot style, and that is that I want it to look like I snapped a photo of this animal and I just zoomed in on the face. So he has a body, it's just not showing in the picture. And to get that illusion, I line this raw edge up with the bottom edge of the block. And on this case, it's gonna look like I'm not going all the way to the edge, but the batting, I'm actually going to the edge of the batting, which is hidden behind this fabric, this yellow fabric. The batting didn't go quite up to the edge. All right, so that is his body. Now let's go ahead and put his head into place. So here's an example of how you might use that guide. So I can see that the point of the chin here goes just about, it's a little bit higher than the inside point of this shagginess here. So when I lay his chin, with his body out, I want to make sure that that point of the chin is ending up a little bit higher than that inside point. All right, that's going to work great. And this doesn't have to be super exact. Okay, so the next thing we're going to lay in there are his ears, and he's got, his ears are 2 pieces. There's a front ear and a bottom ear, and that placement guide again will tell you which pieces are which. So we have 2 and 4 on the left side and 3 and 5 on the right side. So there's 2, there we go. So these pieces, again, if you look at your guide, they tuck behind the head and on top of the body. So I'm going to slip them in between the head and the body. So let me just peel the backing first off the lower ears and tuck that in. And then the upper ear is going to overlap this lower ear, and I just want to cover up that chalk line. And I also want to make sure that I have the ends here lined up. And again, if you want this, depending on how picky you want to get with the placement, you can see that that little shagginess is poking a little bit into the lower ear. There we go. And you could pull the ears out a little bit farther if you wanted to give him bigger ears. You can tuck him in a little bit closer if you wanted smaller ears. There's a lot of variability in how you put these together. And I made the ears a little bit longer than we need for the yak, because we're going to use the same ears for some of the other animals that have them a little bit longer. So we're just doing the same thing on the other side with these ears. And I'm just going to raise that up a little bit, get those lined up and even. Okay, that looks good. Now we have some horns that we need to put in, and these horns are going to sit on top of the ears. So again, between the head and the body, but on top of the ears. They're going to overlap the tops of the ears a little bit. And these horns are quite wide, and we will talk about that in just a second. But for now, let me just get them in here. Okay, so one thing to be aware of with these horns is I have made them very wide because a yak has very wide horns, but this block needs to finish at 10 inches square. So I'm going to trim it down to 10.5, but when I sew the blocks together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance on each side, it's going to be 10 inches. So I want to make sure that these horns are not positioned any wider than 10 inches unless I want to do something fancy with them and have them overlap into the next block, which is really, really fun to do. And I have a tutorial at Shiny Happy World that shows you how to do that, and I'll link to that in this pattern. But for this one, we're going to make sure that he fits in the 10 inches. And for that, I like to just use a ruler, which is bumping into my light box here. But I'm going to just double check this and make sure, oh, it just squeaks in. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. But if I had needed to, I could push those in just a little bit just to make sure that they fit. Or if I want to make them overlap into another block, I could have pulled them even wider. In fact, you could, if you wanted to, even extend the length of the horns. If you wanted to make like a Texas Longhorn wide horns, you could draw this, just make that horn, just extend the length of that horn piece so that you could really stretch them out and have them encroach into the neighboring blocks on your quilt, which would be really, really fun. But we're going to leave this guy here just barely squeaking into that 10 inches. Now let's give him a mop top. So on this, I just want to make sure when I set this down that I don't want any of this head or shoulders to peek up into the notches here. So I'm just going to set that just high enough to cover those. All right, so that's going to be awfully cute. Okay, now we have some more facial features to put in here. So we've got a little snout, and we're just going to position that so it covers up that line that I drew. And then we have a chin, which is going to tuck under the snout. And I've got a little line on the chin, and I'm going to tuck it until that line is covered. Then I know that's good overlap. And now he's also got 2 little nostrils. And if you don't find joy in outlining such small pieces, don't do it. there are other options, and I've got a post that I will link to that has other options for small bits. You could use fabric paint, you could embroider them by hand or by machine. You could use a different kind of adhesive that doesn't require outline stitching. It makes the pieces very, very stiff, but on something this small, you would never notice that. So I use Heat and Bond Light for all of my other pieces, but if you want to skip the outline stitching on such small pieces, use Ultra Hold just for those. There's a lot of different options, and that post that I'll link to has a whole list of them, and links to tutorials for all of them, and links to my favorite fabric paints and fabric markers. All that is all in one place. All right, so here is the finished yak. I am going to take this over to my ironing board and fuse everything in place, and then I will do all of the outline stitching on it, and I'll bring it back here and I'll show you the finished yak, and also show you the other 3 bovine animals that I made. All right. Here is the finished yak. So as a reminder, the yak has got these long curved horns that just about fills up the block, just about fills that full 10 inches. But I've got a few more bovine animals that I made that I want to show you. So this one is the bison, and I am also going to use this to be the ox for the year of the ox in a lunar zodiac quilt pattern bundle that I'm working on. It's in these bright, crazy colors because all of the samples that I'm making for that sample quilt, all of the animals are in bright jewel tone colors, and all of the background blocks are bright red. But you can also make a much more realistic looking bison if you wanted to. But I've also got a highland cow. So this one is super fun. It also has curving horns, but they are a little bit thicker than the yak horns, and they also come out straight and then tip up in a curve, where the yak horns are more uniformly curved. And of course, he has the big shaggy mop that falls down over his eyes. And I've got one more version. This is the fun muskox. So the muskox has got these curving horns, no top like mop of hair on the forehead, and it's also, I didn't use any ear pieces on the muskox. The ears just kind of competed with these droopy down kind of horns that they have, and they just ended up looking very weird, and it actually looks more like a muskox if you take the ears away. So you can also use these pieces to make other bovine animals. You could take these horns and just turn them a little bit to make a water buffalo. You could take the yak horns and make them even wider to make like a longhorn cow. Lots and lots of opportunities, but these are the 4 that are included in the pattern. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and I will see you next time.